So I got an email this morning, which I was pretty interested about, to say the least. And after reading it, I was like thinking, like, could this possibly be happening to people that have never been to a rally? So the more I thought about it, the more I was thinking, yeah, probably. I'm sure there's a lot of people that either have been riding a long time, for years and years and years, but have never been to a rally? Or have you maybe just gotten your first Harley Davidson or touring motorcycle and you've never been to a rally? Absolutely possible, right? So if that's the case, you've never been to a rally before, why haven't you been to a rally before? And like this email I just got, I'm gonna read it to you in a second. I'm not gonna tell you who sent it to me for privacy reasons, but it just really made me think, and I kind of, what should I say? I kind of felt like kind of sad for people, because if that's what they're kind of going through, or if they're feeling worried or anxious because they've never been to a rally and they don't know what to expect, or maybe you just don't know how to act at a rally, and there's certain things that you should be doing and there's certain things that you should definitely not be doing. So I think it's a great topic to go over. I've never made a video about it. Maybe other people have. I'm sure probably maybe Pro Monkey did in the past, but not sure. But I kind of definitely want to talk about this topic, but I just kind of felt bad, like, because if people are going through this and not wanting to go to a rally because they're either intimidated or scared or whatever the case may be, I'm here to tell you that you shouldn't, that you should definitely feel comfortable going to a rally, feel secure and safe going to rally, but there's definitely a couple things that I want to go over, some do's and don'ts. So let me just go over this email, because I am really happy that this person kind of put ego to the side and kind of asked this question, and he actually asked me to make a video about it. By the way, I just got back from a 2-night kind of long distance trip with my son. And when I say kind of long distance trip, because it's kind of short for me, but long for him, because he has never been on a overnight or a long distance trip. We did almost 400 miles in 2 days, and I'm editing that video, in the process of editing that video right now. So if you guys are new to this channel, hit the subscribe button so you guys will check out that video if you guys are kind of new to long distance motorcycle riding, or maybe you have a son or daughter that you're gonna be going on a trip with. Maybe they could watch it, and maybe they could just, maybe it'll help them out as well. So the email goes like this. Hi John, I'm a recent subscriber to your YouTube channel. I was surfing YouTube on January 1st and came across your video you posted that day, where you were riding, looked really familiar, because I was riding that day in the same area. So I'm assuming the guy that wrote me this email is kind of from the area. Your videos are very relatable and interesting. I enjoy the content you put out, so thank you. I've been riding since 2009 and currently ride, I'm not gonna say the bike, but it's a brand new bike. I bought it to start getting into longer distance riding, which I do not do much of because of my busy work schedule and family stuff. Understandable. Anyway, I thought I'd ask if you wouldn't mind doing a video for folks like me who have never been to motorcycle rallies. I am thinking about Americade, since it's probably the closest one, and I typically do a day trip up to Lake George with a buddy, so I'm familiar with the area, and probably won't be able to spend the entire week up there, but I think a couple days might work. I would welcome any tips for rookies. Again, thanks for putting out your videos. So, you know, after reading that email, I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that he is intimidated or scared or anything like that. He's just saying he's new to the, you know, rally world. Maybe you've been riding a Harley Davidson or a touring motorcycle for quite some time. That may be the case. You could be riding for 20, 30 years or longer, but have never been to a motorcycle rally. Or, like I said before, maybe you just got into Harley Davidsons. Maybe you just got into touring motorcycles and you've never been to a rally and you would like to go to them. So like, obviously, all the pictures and the videos that all of us see at rallies, you know, you see some crazy stuff. You see some really awesome stuff as far as scenery and riding and this and that. But then you also see some crazy stuff. You may hear about some crazy stuff happening, maybe some shootings or whatever, some crazy stuff or some fights or this or that. So I'm here to tell you, you shouldn't be afraid to go to a rally. You should feel comfortable. You should feel safe going to a rally. But there is some do's and some don'ts. So what I'm going to tell you is the biggest thing when you go to a rally, whether it's, you know, by yourself, you could even go by yourself. There's no problem with that. Or whether you go with your friends, the biggest thing, and this applies to anything you do in the biker community, whether you're in the club, whether you're just out riding in your area, or whether it's at a rally, the biggest thing, the number one thing I'm going to tell you is have respect. Show respect, and you're going to give respect. Don't go there thinking you're some big shot. Leave your ego checked in your house, wherever it is, in the closet, wherever it is. Leave your ego checked. Come there with respect. Come there thinking, I'm going to have fun, I'm going to have a good time. And as long as you do that, you primarily will never ever have a problem. So I'm going to tell you, I've been to all the big major rallies, whether it be Laconia, Daytona, Myrtle Beach, or Sturgis, Gettysburg, Americade, wherever. I haven't been to all of them throughout the country, but kind of the biggest ones I've been to. I've been to many. I've been to all of them, sometimes even multiple times every year. But having said that, I have never, ever, not once ran into a problem, ran into some sort of chaos or anything like that. I have never ran into any issues because I always, I'm going to say always 3 times, show respect, mind your damn business. You're out there to have fun, then have fun. Be smart, be mindful of your surroundings, and you will not run into any problems. I have met some of the best, some of the nicest people at rallies that you could possibly imagine. The biker community as a whole is some of the nicest people that you're ever going to meet. Some of the nicest, some of the most helpful, some of the most, how should I say this? Some of the most interesting folks out there, because after talking to so many people at rallies, especially when I do the meet and greets at stuff, the people that come up to me, wow, they're like super interesting, whether it's their job or whether like how much they traveled throughout the country, how many miles they put on their bikes. I mean, some just very, very interesting people. You know, you could get into some conversations with these people that literally like you're mind blown as far as, you know, how their life is. It's just really remarkable. So that's why I kind of never made this video, is because like when I go there, what I see something different than maybe what is portrayed, right? So just like back in the day, maybe 40, 50 years ago, bikers in a whole just got I guess, a bad rap, maybe from a couple bad people or groups, whatever. And that's kind of, it was maybe stigmatized that way. And it's, again, and it's probably still true to this day, but it's so far and few between that you should definitely never worry to go to a rally or to go out onto your bike, to go to a bike night, a meet and greet, a bikes and breakfast, whatever it is. You should definitely not worry about it, as long as you kind of follow these certain rules and steps that I'm about to tell you. So again, like I said in the beginning of this video, the respect issue is probably the biggest thing. You give respect, you're going to get respect back. Now, obviously, if you have never came across a club, a 1% club in general. So chances are you're going to have a higher percent chance that you are going to run in to a, say, 1% club at some of these rallies. The chances are greatly higher. So basically, whenever I was at a rally, there's 1% clubs there everywhere. But again, you show respect, you're going to get respect. So there's going to be a couple things that you're not going to want to do, regardless whether there's clubs there or just no clubs and just people in general. Couple things you're going to want to not do. Do not disrespect anybody. Go there, have a good time, mind your business, have fun with your friends, and do not disrespect anybody in any way. That is probably going to be the biggest thing, number one thing that you could possibly do. Do not disrespect anyone. Number two, I'm going to say, do not touch anybody's motorcycle. I am a big stickler on that. And I'm thinking you guys will probably agree with me. Do not touch anybody's bike. When we're at rallies, man, I love looking at everybody's bike. I just absolutely love it. But I look at a distance, especially if I have my camera and I'm recording. Chances are I'm not going to be recording with the camera over the bike. If I am, I'm going to want to make sure that I have two hands on that thing, probably a camera strap, God forbid it falls and hit the bike. But I'm going to recommend to you, don't even put the camera over somebody's bike, because God forbid if it falls and does some damage to somebody's bike. But that's the thing. Do not touch anybody's motorcycle, because you, first of all, you don't know whose bike that is. And the second thing is, there's like this thing. It's not written somewhere in stone, but everybody knows that in the motorcycle community, you don't touch anybody's bike. Especially never try to sit on somebody's bike. I've seen a couple crazy ass clips, probably short form content on like Instagram or TikTok. Some guys recording and then say, hey, hold this, I want to sit on somebody's bike while you record me on the bike. Don't ever do that. Don't sit on somebody's bike. Don't touch anybody's bike. You are more than welcome to sit there for an hour and stare at somebody's bike because you're in awe, because somebody maybe created a badass build. And I do that too. And that's where all of us get our motivation, our inspiration from, right? I love to do that. That's one of the main things why I love to go to rallies, is because there is literally thousands and thousands of motorcycles. And I just walk by them and look and record, take some pictures. That's where a lot of the things, believe it or not, I got inspiration from on Mad Max. Especially the mid controls. I think it was, 2 years ago at Sturgis. I forgot where it was exactly, at a booth. I seen a Road Glide there. Me and Glenn walked by it and he had the mid controls on it. And I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have this. So that's just an example. That's where we get our inspiration from. Look, but don't touch. So don't touch anybody's bike. So another big thing is, you meet somebody, somebody comes up, whether it's you're looking at their bike and they come up, and introduce yourself, for crying out loud. Introduce yourself, don't act cocky, be respectful. When you're introducing yourself, shake the person's hand. And like, this type of stuff is just this is general, guys. Like, I shouldn't even be telling anybody this, but I'm telling you, I've seen it happen. A lot of people don't have the common sense. Like, hey, I'm John, brother. By the way, beautiful bike. Nice to see it. Nice to meet you. He's going to come back. Hey, what's up, man? Joe, hey, I appreciate that. When you go to shake their hand, make sure you shake with the right hand, and make sure you don't have a glove on your hand. That's just kind of another thing that's not like etched, written in stone, that everybody should know. These are like simple, like rules, right? Simple rules. Don't shake somebody's hand with your left hand, shake them with the right, and don't shake their hand with the glove. Introduce yourself. Normal stuff, guys, normal stuff. Even if the motorcycle is owned by a 1% club member. If that's their bike, there is no problem looking at the bike. Don't touch it. Do not touch anybody's motorcycle. If you are, regardless whether you are new to rallies or whether you're just at a bike night, at your local bike night around your town or in your state, or bikes and breakfast. If you don't know the person, if it's not your buddy's bike, do not touch anybody's motorcycle. So now, if you do touch somebody's bike, if you disrespect them, like literally by, you know, pulling out your left hand or shaking their hand with a glove on, something like that. Another thing is, take your sunglasses off when you're talking to somebody. Take your sunglasses off when you shake someone's hand, when you introduce yourself. These are like little things that the majority of the biker community knows. And if you do not know, now you do. Take your sunglasses off, shake with your right hand without a glove, do not touch their motorcycle. So now, if you do these couple little things like I'm telling you not to, then depending on who that person is, potentially you can have a problem. Now, I'm not saying you're going to get a smack or a punch in the face, but maybe some words could be exchanged. Do you follow what I'm saying? So just keep those little things in mind when you're at a rally, when you're at a bike night, when you're around your house. Just keep that in mind and just try to do that. So another thing I'm going to tell you guys, when I'm at a rally and I have my camera out, okay? I got GoPro, I got the 360, I got my drone, I have my big camera out, and I'm recording everything. And I'm going to tell you now, you're probably 99.9% going to run in to a 1% club. Now, if you don't know what a 1% club is, do this. This is just going to make it safe across the board. If anybody is wearing a vest, a cut, with patches on the back, and you don't know how to differentiate from what a standard club is, a riding club, a LE club, a law enforcement club, or a 1% club, then just make sure you kind of do this to anybody that you see wearing a vest, wearing a cut. Just make sure you do this. If you're taking pictures, if you're recording, do not record them. 100%, absolutely not. Do not record a club. Whether it's pointing your camera at club members, whether you're taking photos of club members, do not do it, regardless of who it is. This is going to keep you safe. If you are walking and you're recording, if you see somebody or club members coming down the block and they're going to be passing you, put the camera down. Do not take pictures of them. Do not record them, because chances are you're going to have a problem. Now that's going for regardless whether they're walking, whether they're turned around, whether they're riding on their bike. Just don't record them. That's going to be the safest bet. Now, if you think you're smart and you say to yourself, hey, I'm going to take a picture of a certain club that maybe you even know that are 1% and their back is turned to you, don't do it. Just don't do it. Because you don't know who's watching. There could be a group there with all their backs turned to you, and you think you're a smartass and you're going to take your phone out and you're going to take a picture to show your buddy or your family back home to say, you know, look what I got, or look, they were there. But there's friends, there's members everywhere. And if somebody sees you doing that, you're probably going to have a bigger problem than that person seeing and finding out that you're actually taking picture or recording them. So just trust me when I tell you this, do not do it. And you will not have a problem. Now, if you see a club, should you run away? Should you turn around and go the other way? No, you don't have to. If you see a group, especially a club, but this doesn't only go to clubs. If you see a group of friends and they're together and they're walking towards you, this just goes for a sign and show of respect. If you see 10 guys and they don't even have to be in a club and they're all talking and laughing together, and just say you're by yourself or you're with your buddy, should you walk through them at a rally or at a bike night or anywhere for the matter? Should you walk? I seen it happen. I'm like, are you stupid? Like, why would you do that? Should you walk through them or should you just walk around them? I've seen people just walk through them and then the guys pass and they're like, why the hell did he just do that? It's like simple courtesy. And I hate to say it, like some of this stuff that I'm talking about, it has to be taught because nobody taught them when they were growing up. And it's sad, but it's true. Your parents didn't teach them this. And it's friggin' common sense, man. It's common courteous, common respect, integrity, all that good stuff. A lot of people just weren't taught that when they were growing up. So sometimes you have to teach the people, even when they're older, but sometimes if they're not taught, they learn the hard way. And that's what we're trying to teach you guys now. If you're new to the biker community, if you're new to rallies, these are the things not to do or things to do, because it's going to save you a lot of headaches and a lot of trouble. Again, it always falls back to respect and to be courteous and to be kind. If you come incorrect, especially to a rally, especially to one of these clubs, or like I said, it doesn't even have to be a club, to a group of guys that you don't know, you can and will find yourself in some hot water. So another thing is, what else does everybody do, or what does everybody do at rallies when they go to rallies? Like the biggest thing is, obviously they go to the vendors and they check out all the bikes and this and that, but primarily, like that's why I go to rallies, is to do a lot of the riding that's there, especially like in Sturgis, Laconia, Americade, stuff like that. I go there to do the rides. So this is another thing where it's not kind of written in stone, but you should know this. If you're riding and say, for instance, if you're at Sturgis, there's a million damn bikes at Sturgis. You could go hundreds and hundreds of miles around the area in Sturgis and find thousands, and I'm not talking about 1 or 5 or 10, thousands of bikers everywhere in these towns, 200-300 miles away from Sturgis. It is friggin' massive. It is absolutely massive. It's not like anything you'll ever see. So if you're going on these rides, if you're at Sturgis, they have so many great rides, whether it's Rushmore, Devil's Tower, or Yellowstone, or whatever you want to do around the area, you're going to run in to a lot of people on bikes doing the same ride that you're doing. So for instance, if you're out on a ride, you by yourself with your boys, just because you have a group of 10 guys, and especially, I'm gonna say this, if you're there with your guys, if you're not part of a club, whatever, I don't care if you're with 10 guys, 20 guys. If you see a club, show respect. Do not disrespect in any way. So now if you're on a ride by yourself, or even if you're on a ride with 10 of your friends, probably I'm going to tell you the #1 thing to look out for is if you're on a highway, is if you're on, say, a 2-lane road that you could pass people. If you see a club riding together in formation, do not pass them. And again, maybe I'm gonna probably see some people in the comments, not sure, but I'm sure the majority of you are gonna understand and say, yes, you're right. But maybe I'll get some people in the comments say, what are you talking about? Don't pass a motorcycle club. I've seen people comment this stuff in other people's videos, and I'm like, wow, you just don't understand, you don't get it. Again, it's not written anywhere in stone. It's understood though. So that's why I'm talking to the newbies. I'm talking to the new people that just maybe started out riding touring bikes, just started out going to motorcycle rallies, or have never been to a rally, or even riding on the road around your house. This goes like kind of, I'm gonna tell you this, all of these rules and things and you know, unwritten rules apply to everywhere, not only rallies. Like you should be doing this stuff around your house, at bike nights, even say if you wanna go out on a ride for an hour or two by yourself. All these rules and things that I'm talking about should apply when you're at home, not only at rallies, right? respect, 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 the biggest thing. But if you are riding and you come across, you're riding on your bike, you look in the distance, there's 5, could be 5, could be 2, could be 100, right? Do not pass that club. If your wife just went into childbirth and you got to get home, yeah, I'm probably going to pass everybody too. Or if something happened, there's emergency at home or emergency back at the hotel and you got to get there, of course. Yeah, I'm passing everybody too. I'm not talking about that. What I'm talking about is you're just riding and you see, whether it's 2 guys, 5 guys, 100 guys, they're wearing a cut. You see that they're in a club. You see the rockers, and regardless whether or not you know the club or not, out of respect, do not pass them. If it is a 1% club and you pass them, especially flying by, you're most likely going to have a problem. Now, there's a thing where a lot of times maybe you're in a rush or something, you can go to the tail gunner in the club that's riding, and you may say, hey, can I pass? Give him the sign. He may say, it's possible he may say, go ahead. He may say, no, get the hell back. You know what I'm saying? So regardless whether or not you want that inner reaction, I kind of don't want to because I'm not in a rush. So chances are I'm just going to hold back and relax and just take my time and ride behind them. Do not ride next to them. Do not ride close behind them. Stay back. Stay back, man. Relax, stay back, man. Enjoy the ride. Do not bring that ego there because I'm telling you, they will check your ego. So that's probably the only thing I could think of that could jam you up on a highway riding is riding next to a club or a 1% club. Passing a 1% club at high speeds is definitely going to get you jammed up. So that's probably one of the biggest thing. Or maybe even going to a rally with some kind of territorial patch on your back. If you have a vest or something, I would say don't do that. Like if you have, I don't know, you and your buddy made a club, back at home, and whatever it is, Joe Schmo's riding club, and you have like a bottom rocker of a state or of a territory, you're probably going to get jammed up. So don't do that. Leave that vest at home because it's super probable that you're going to run in, like I said, to a club, to a 1% club at these rallies. But if you don't do those certain items that I'm describing to you in this video, I'm telling you, there is like almost no chance that you're going to have a problem with anybody. And I'm serious about that. There are families there. People bring their wives, their kids, their mothers, their grandparents. They do. It's a family experience. And I'm not joking. It's a fantastic, fantastic experience. If you have never been to a rally, if you're new to the Harley community, new to the biker community, whatever it is, get out there and get it. Do not be afraid. Don't be intimidated. Just bring respect. Leave everything at home. Bring respect. Bring courteousness. Bring kindness. And you're just not going to have a problem. I'm telling you that right now. Probably another big thing is mind your damn business. If you see a group of guys, especially in a club, don't go up to them and butt in, especially if they're in a conversation. Mind your business. Go ask somebody else. Open up Google. And you should have no issues. So now, which rally should you start with? Which rally should you go to? That's easy. If you live in the Northeast, go to Mercator, go to Laconia, go to Ocean City, Maryland. Do the closest rally to you. If you're from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York, whatever, I mean, yeah, you could go to Sturgis, but why go to Sturgis if you could hit a rally literally like 2-3 hours from your house? If you live out in the Midwest, go to Sturgis. There's a bunch of also, I think rallies, there's a rally in Texas, there's a rally in Arizona. If you live down south, rally in Arkansas, rally in South Carolina, rally in Florida. I mean, so I would say wherever you live, hit the closest rally first and go, you know, do it small. Unless you live in South Dakota or near Sturgis, go straight to South Dakota. I'm not going to tell you to drive to Laconia if you live in South Dakota, you know what I mean? It just makes sense. The stuff I talked about applies to any single rally, man. Any single rally. And once you're at a rally, you're going to see how it is. It's kind of going to break you in. And if you apply what I told you to apply, the do's and the don'ts, do this, don't do that, you're not going to have any problem. You're going to come back from a rally literally being, every time I come back from a rally, I feel really good. And I'll tell you why. Because of so many awesome bikes I've seen, of so many awesome people I met, and the riding is just phenomenal depending on which rally you go to. Like when we go to Laconia, me, Glenn, and Bo went to Laconia and did like a Maine trip from Laconia. We went up into Maine, and let me tell you, it literally like brings tears to your eyes as some of the places that we've seen, or whether you're in Sturgis, the riding that you do out there is just phenomenal. So when you come back home, you're really fulfilled. You're fulfilled with the people you met, the riding you've done, the scenery you've seen, the places you've been to. It's just a fantastic experience overall. And if you're looking to do upgrades to your bike, I'm going to tell you now, going to a rally is probably the best thing to kind of get inspired, to kind of see what's out there, what other people are doing. There's some amazing bikes, and there's some whacked out bikes that, yeah, you could probably get a chuckle from, but all in all, it's just a fantastic experience, and I would recommend it to everyone. I'm going to tell you this, that I would have no issue, zero issue, bringing my 19-year-old son, my other 19-year-old son, or my 23-year-old daughter, or my 24-year-old daughter to any rally, anytime, anywhere. I would have no issues doing that. So if I do that, and I'm telling you, if you guys watch me for a long time, you guys know how I feel about family, about friends, about camaraderie and stuff like that, about the safety of my family and friends, then you're gonna know if I wanna bring my family, or would bring my family, my kids, to a rally, what does that tell you? That tells you that if you're a grown man, and if you're going there with the right intentions, you leave your ego behind, you go with respect, you go with some smarts, and like I said, it's not written in stone, it's just street smarts, you are not going to have any problem. Get out there and get it. I hope this video helped, guys. If I missed anything, hit me down below in the comments. Maybe some do's and don'ts. I think the other viewers would appreciate it, and just put them down below, because it's not only me saying this in a video and people learning, but I love when people comment, because maybe something I missed, maybe other insights of people, maybe some do's, maybe some don'ts. But thanks for watching, guys. Love every single one of you guys. Hit that subscribe button. We'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.